Good morning, everyone.
You want to start with a statement or?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So this week we got the Saints, obviously, and excited about that opportunity, and just want to give a shout out to our players. All of our defensive players, and obviously this season has not gone the way we wanted, and but there's a lot of ball ahead of us, and I really commend them for the way that their professionalism, the work ethic in the classroom, on the field, and we're going to continue to pound at this thing and pound away at this thing, and we know that our process is right, and as we continue to work through it, hopefully the results will follow. So, but I just really commend them and appreciate that the work and the focus and attention to detail that we've seen from them, and we'll continue to work through it as we go through the season.
All right, thanks, Coach. Start with Mike Hay.
Hey, Jay, how's it going?
Good, Mike. How you doing?
Well, I wanted to ask you, Damani Richardson went from playing no snaps to playing all the snaps against Denver, seemed to play really well against the run, tackle really well. In a situation where you're trying to find answers for the defense, how did he impress you in that game?
Well, Damani has been doing a great job since we brought him in from Texas A&M. And if you kind of look back at the offseason and the training camp, he really had the most ball production out of anybody on the defense. And so from that standpoint, he's been doing a great job. And then you just look at just the attention to detail, kind of like I was talking about, the focus and the professionalism, which is that he displays for a young guy, a guy that just got into the league to have such great habits. It's not a surprise that he was able to go into the game and function the way that he did. And just really, really proud of him and proud of the way he performed. But I'm not surprised because you see just the work he's put in behind the scenes. And even when he was a practice squad and not gonna expected to play a lot, he displayed those professional habits in terms of preparation, getting ready for the game plan, always staying tapped in and tuned in. And so yeah, he did a great job.
And then I wanted to ask you, Trevin Wallace has played a lot, but he's also forced 2 fumbles. And I know how much you guys preach pounding the ball out. When you see that in practice, like how are you about, I guess, even in a loss like that, for finishing the way he did, how do you coach that up or praise that behind the scenes?
Oh, you definitely have to celebrate that, and that's what we do. And really not just with Trevin, but with everybody. It's when we make good plays, we want to celebrate them. When things need to be corrected, that's where we're going to address them and talk about them, and that's just the way we coach. And despite the difficulties at times, and obviously we're not getting the results that we want at the end of the day, there's still a lot of good things that are happening, and we can't ever undermine those.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to Joe Person, followed by Cassidy Hill.
Hey, EJ. How are you?
Great. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. I appreciate it.
Just okay? Why just okay?
Well, that's a great question. I'm doing awesome.
The weather's good today. A little bit of pollen out there, but the weather's good for the most part.
It is good. Hey, wondering, some of your players obviously took exception with Sean's play calls at the end of that game. Did you have any issue with it, kind of given the score of the game and where things stood?
I don't get into that. We got to play defense, and if they line up and play, we got to play, and we got to stop them, and that's our job, and that's all there is to it from my standpoint. And so it is what it is. I understand some of the antics and stuff at the end of the game, but I'm not too concerned about that.
What about what he said about play better?
Say that one more time.
When he was asked about it Monday, he said, well, the Panthers need to play better.
No comment.
Fair enough. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey Jay, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. It looks like Derek Carr will return for Sunday, or it seems to be on track to return. But how much do you still have to weigh the possibility of Spencer, and how are they kind of different?
Well, the offense is certainly a lot more opened up with Derek. You could see the full complement of plays and what Clint's trying to do with Derek. And so we know that we're preparing that it's going to be Derek. They're similar in terms of they both can throw the ball well. They both got the ability to run and extend plays with their legs. We understand that Derek obviously is more experienced and is going to have the full arsenal of the plays at his display. But it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we know that we got to take care of our business. We got to be ready to play the run game, and we got to be ready to execute at a high level.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to Mike Kay.
Hey, Jay, JC has shown kind of a little bit more outgoing nature on the field, even in reference to the stuff with, that Joe had brought up. You know, when you're a defense, you probably want to have a lot of tenacity. I'm just curious what he brings to the table from a leadership standpoint, but also like an energy standpoint.
Oh, he's been tremendous, and it's been so great to just witness his growth. And I think a big part of that is that as he's getting more comfortable with our system, he's now comfortable in terms of he knows he's going to be out there, he's going to be playing, he feels great about his health, all those different types of things. You're seeing his true personality really come out. And that's who this guy is. That's who JC is. He's full of energy. He's full of emotion. And I love it because at the end of the day, especially to play defensive football, you need to have that. You need to have those emotions, and you can't be even keeled or play at a low level. You have to be high energy. You have to be emotional because that's what it takes to play this game at a high level. And so it's been awesome to him, and it's certainly contagious.
Go ahead, Joe.
Anything from week one that you're really harping on this week or that really sat in your craw?
Yeah, I won't talk too much about it, but going into week one, we had somewhat of an idea what they were going to do, but without him really calling the plays in a couple of years, there's a lot of guesstimating and all that stuff. Now, with 8 games in, we know exactly what they're going to do. We have a good idea of how they're going to attack us. We know that we have to play better than we did in game one, especially from the run game standpoint, and so we're excited about the challenge.
And then also, you had mentioned in your opening statement that you feel confident that the system works and the process is effective. What gives you that confidence, to say that and obviously believe that?
Well, it's experience with these players, experience with our coaching staff, and we've talked about the results. They're not there. We know that, and it's very, very obvious. But like I said last week, I'm always optimistic about what's about to happen next. I go into every game fully believing that we're going to win the game. I feel no different this week, and I really just want to see our guys continue to just work the way that they do, and believe in each other, believe that this thing is going to turn, and see what happens.
Thanks.
EJ, from your standpoint as a defensive play caller, a term that's used around the league is like there's a blueprint to beat these guys. It seemed like in week 3, I believe it was, Philly kind of set the tone in their game defensively against the Saints, and then since then we've kind of seen Clint be challenged a little bit more in his production. I'm just curious, how much as a defensive coordinator do you look at those previous games of what the other team does as opposed to what Clint does?
Oh, it's certainly a combination. Obviously, our main focus is on what the Saints are going to do. You always are studying the league and studying what other people are doing and what's effective, what's not. So that's always a big part of our preparation as well. But at the end of the day, we know what's in front of us with this team. They're really good at running the ball. They're really good with the keeper game and the PAP game. And, working with Clint in Denver that last year, he's a tremendous coach. He's going to make adjustments. I understand that. I know that. Things that have worked against him, he's going to figure it out. And so we have to play our game. We have to understand that regardless of what's happened in the past, adjustments are going to be made. And this game is going to be played and determined by how we play and how we adjust in this game itself.
All right, any more for Coach?
Yeah, real quick,
One
EJ.
more. Yeah.
You were talking about not knowing kind of how he was going to be as a play caller in week 1 versus now. Is one of those easier or harder to prepare for? Like when you have less and you're kind of guessing versus 8 weeks worth of stuff to sift through? Like how is that different?
Yeah, when you don't know, you kind of default to your training camp rules and just kind of your base package stuff, and you just go play. It's always, and then when you do have the inventory and when you do know, then it's a matter of, okay, we're making adjustments, we're running certain things because we think it's going to be effective against what they do. I don't know what's better or what's worst, but at the end of the day, we know that scheme is going to be one part of it, but our tempo in terms of effort, execution, physicality is going to be the main story.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.